Okay, guys, it's Monday night and we are live. Hit the like button, hit the sub button. I've got a legend with me, JackMack LFC in the house. The legend continues. Jackie boy, all the roses are, it's rosy in the Anfield Garden at the moment. I mean, we're doing well in the league and the Champions League. We're going to talk about the Atletico game now in a minute, but we're just going to recap on the weekend. That 5-star performance, Jack.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Cheers and let me come on, Dave. Pleasure as always. Hopefully, Red's at home. Have a lovely evening anyway. Let us know what he's been up to. Yeah, it was a cracking result, wasn't it? Bobby Firmino getting a hat trick and the one assist. Really, obviously Salah took very much the headlines for he scored in Wales every single week. It seems like now.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it was. There was still levels to our game a couple of days ago that we could have really beat. I don't think we're still playing yet our best football for Liverpool at the minute. But yeah, it's positive to see in every aspect from a defensive point of view, and obviously our forward lads and even with the players that we did have missing this weekend.
No, I mean it's just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. We're playing some stuff, and to think of all the crap that happened over the summer with Twitter and the Instagram and like the TikTok fans, as I call them, talking crap about Liverpool being, we're ruined or we're doing this or we're doing that. Jackie, we will be okay. We will be okay. Just believe me. I'm just tweeting here that we're actually live. If anybody wants to pop in and say hello, as I say, hit the like button early. Because the more likes, the more people we get in. Mick Moran is in. Mick, you can pop in. There's the little spot in midfield for you there. You can actually play centre midfield if you want, Mick. Give me a thumbs up and I'll send you a link if you're available. But Mick Moran, Copite podcast legend in the house. I'm looking forward. As I say, 5-0 the weekend. Mosalah's on fire. Do you know what was great as well, Bobby? To see that smile. Hat trick. No one's talking about the hat trick, Jack.
Yeah.
Nobody. I mean, it's unusual, isn't it? No one's mentioning the hat trick, which is weird.
Yeah, no, it's one thing that has been labelled a Bobby in his Liverpool career. We know he's not your Lewandowski or your Salah type of player. He links play for the likes of Mane and Salah and the other forward lads and Jota when he does play as well. So, but he's got that ability to get in. Watching that Watford defence, Danny Rose was having a torrid time against Salah. He was isolated along. It took about 2 Watford players to stop Salah at the weekend, but that allowed obviously the space for Firmino. I think if they combine all the goals, like it was like that classic hat trick that the Cout got against Man United. It was within like 5-10 yards or Bobby's goals at the weekend. But he's got to be in the right position, and he was. And fingers crossed he can add to his tally this season. There's Jerry all 3, even plus Jota as well. All 4 of our main attackers are all guns blazing, really puts Liverpool in such a positive position going forward.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great place to be. We're in the middle of October and, we're really... I know a lot of it can... To be honest, Jack, out of the top teams, the likes of City, the likes of Chelsea, even the likes of United, even though they're sort of crap. But squad-wise, you know what I mean? Squad size, quality squad-wise, we've probably the smaller squad, but our starting 11, our spine, let's say, is top-notch. The best, I would say, starting 11. But the key for Liverpool is keeping the 11 fit, keeping them happy, keeping them hungry. And they have started this season off like a house on fire, and long may it continue. But I think the key for Liverpool is the interchange of certain players so that they don't get tired and don't get injured. What do you think?
Yeah, most definitely. It'd be interesting to see everyone in chat as well how Klopp does juggle Andy Robinson. I think we'll probably go full strength against Atletico. I think we've got to go full strength. We need to get the points on the board. I mean, if you can look at the group already, and we do get 3 points against Atletico, we'll be on 9 points already and put you in such a positive position. Like me and you've been speaking, Dave, and all the Reds around the world. I don't think Klopp and the players would say that they'll be more relaxed going into the next games, because you've obviously got to be professional in every game that you do play. But really, in relation to analysing that game against Atletico, I think even I don't want to look at it and go, yeah, our point would be positive. But for me, I want us to win 3 points against Atletico Madrid.
Well, listen, we're in a great place. We're confident. We've got all our top players. Okay, I seen Curtis Jones was back in training today, but he didn't travel, so he should be okay for the United game, but he won't be available for tomorrow night. I thought it was coming too early for him anyway. It's coming too early for Thiago. So you Curtis, Thiago, and Elliott's long term. But other than that, it's looking quite good. You know what I mean? I'm sure Jota's is can't wait to get on the pitch either. So I'll tell you what I would do though. I'm going to answer a question here from Mick Moran. Eamon Kelly, John Moore, Mick Moran in the house. Here's a question. You can give me your answer, but here's my answer to Mick's question. The big question is, which Salah goal was better? The Man City one or the Watford one? And I'll tell you my answer. You can give your answer after, Jack. For me, it was the Manchester City one. I'll give you 3 reasons why. 1, it was Manchester City. They have a far better defence than Watford. It was a tighter game. We actually took the lead in that game. Whereas in the Watford game, they're a poorer side. Like they're basically going to be fighting relegation. We were already 3-0 up. You know, the game you could say was more or less over. It's against better defenders. I mean, he was turning the likes of Diaz and these type players inside out. You know what I mean? And that is huge. And I think it was even a better finish. Went in off the far post. It was really tight against a better goalkeeper and all that. So for me, both goals are world class. Both goals are unbelievable. But I think the City one just beats it.
Yeah, I'm gonna play devil's advocate, really, mate. For me personally, I just love the Watford goal. Just the sheer how tight the angles were. Like obviously, he had like 5-6 players around him, and don't get me wrong, the City goal was phenomenal, and I was screaming my head off with my dad last week. I think always were. But it's just one of those moments. But I think both of them possibly could be goal of the season contenders already, and we're 8 games in, which is frightening. But for me personally, from a point of view, I like the Watford goal just because the sheer amount of bodies he did have around him. Yes, the City goal was a very good angle, as you said there, mate. It was both goals are fantastic in their own right, but for me personally, just for the sheer arrogance of Mo, it's that stud roll that he does. He gets the ball on below his foot and just ball rolls it, and then just opens up his body. And then I tell you, if it wasn't for Foster in goal for Watford, I think Salah would have had about 4 or 5 goals anyway.
Yeah. No, but I mean, listen, as John Moore said, they're both world-class goals. They're both going to be in the top 10 goals of the season. There's no absolute doubt about it. And I think Salah has a few more in him as well. So, like, you know, he could get the whole 10. Imagine getting the top 10 and you're in the 10, you won the 10 now. That would be something else. But, I mean, it's just exciting. That was a fantastic win, as I say. But it's all about confidence building, Jack. Now we go into the Atletico Madrid game tomorrow night in Madrid. We won a Champions League there, number 6 in 2019. We all know about that. But we lost there. We lost there too. I know it was narrowly the last time out. I think it's a tough game. I know everybody's writing Atletico Madrid off because of the fact that they've only got a late win, the 97th minute Suarez penalty against, you could say, a poor Milan side, but they weren't too bad in the San Siro, and then they got a 0-0 against Porto at home. And to be fair, Porto should have won that game. I mean, I don't know whether you're watching the highlights, but they 4 points, and I think they're even fortunate to have 4. They probably should only have 2 at least. So we'll pop up. I'm going to pop up the Group B table there. We just have a quick look at it. I see Liverpool sit pretty on top. Played 2, 6 points in the bag. Atletico Madrid played 2, 4 points in the bag. Porto 1 draw, 1 loss, and Milan 2 losses. Of course, we beat them 3-2, and of course, two tight games when you think about it. 3-2 and 2-1. Then with 10 men for most of that game against Atletico Madrid. But I think a win tomorrow would be absolutely huge because it'd give us 9 points. Atletico would stay in 4. The other 2 would probably draw again anyway. And we'd be almost home and hosed. You probably only need a draw. Definitely a win to win the group, I'd say, after that. But a win tomorrow, even a point, Jack, wouldn't be the end of the world. But I want to go bouncing. I want to be bouncing into Old Trafford on Sunday with a win against Atletico tomorrow night. What do you think?
Yeah, I watched the highlights of that Milan Atletico Madrid game, mate, and even when Atletico do play AC Milan in the return fixture anyway, Milan will be baying for blood. They will be wanting at least a result or a draw at least, and try and frustrate them because they were absolutely robbed For me personally,
Right.
in the San Siro, it was a harsh penalty. Don't get me wrong. You can give it either way, but they played quite well, Milan, and obviously it's not going to be the easy one, as you've said there, mate. They got a 2-0 win, Atletico against Barcelona a couple of weeks ago. Anyway, I know Barca aren't the team that they are really, but in relation to Griezmann, he's just moved to Atleti. Obviously, Suarez, we know how much of a threat he is, how much of a pain in the backside he is in relation to he will be absolutely up for it.
He will literally be hungry. He'd be biting people's arms off.
Yeah, no, so you got him, João Felix, obviously, Saul, who went to Chelsea anyway, but
Carrera. I'll tell you,
yeah.
they have a quality side, Jack. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I mean, the Spanish champions, they are. I know it's okay. The Premier League hasn't been fantastic. You could say the Premier League's probably the ultimate league. The other leagues have sort of dropped away with money and stuff. Messi's left, Ronaldo left a few years ago. All the top stars are going, but this is a good Atleti side. I mean, you won't beat a Diego Simeone team easy. You will not beat them easy. I think it's a tough game tomorrow night.
Yeah, just want me to bring up the lineup that played Barca, mate.
Bring it up there. Yeah, Liz Golden. I'll just go through a few people here. Liz Golden in the house. Hope you're well. Eamon Kelly, Ravi, Fiegel, 2909, the time traveller, that must be. John Moore, as usual. It's absolutely great having you guys in. Thank you very much for popping in. Hit the like button. Hit the share button. Let's get a few people in. We're going to have a look at the team that... There we go.
Yeah, this is the team that did play FC Barcelona.
Beat them 2-0. 2-0, was it?
Yeah. And it'd be interesting to see if you do go 3 at the back. Obviously, they have deployed a 4-4-2 or 4-4-1-1 formation, but that is quite an attacking-minded side. Obviously, Marcus Llorente, the Spanish international, he's very versatile. The player that did score 2 goals at Anfield when we played them last year, knocking us out. Obviously, DePaul, the Argentinian, just won the Copa America with Argentina. So you got Carrasco, but the main men up front really, Luis Suarez and João Felix. But yeah, there's a lot of talent. And Dave, as you said there, mate, and everyone in chat, they've not been playing the best in the group stage, but if they get a positive result in any way, they'll be absolutely up for it. And they've got the type of characters within that dressing room that will very much fight tooth and nail. Simeone is such an identical. His team embodies his personality really as a coach. He's a born winner, similar to Klopp. Really, he'll win at any costs. But he is a character, but he's a good character to have in football. Like I said, it will be interesting in a couple of years' time if he does decide to leave Atletico Madrid. It would be interesting to see how he would approach English football anyway.
No, but I mean, it's going to be really interesting tomorrow night. I mean, we owed him one basically. I mean, if you remember the last time, I know it was COVID. It was at Anfield. There was the big issue around should have the game even went ahead, and the pandemic was coming around the corner. A few people got COVID badly from that. It possibly even died, from attending that. It spread like wildfire then. But I mean, that's done and dusted now. We can't go back in time. We can't go back in history. But for me, we actually were brilliant that night at Anfield, Jack.
Oh, yeah.
We beat them 1-0, but it should have been 3 or 4. It should have been over. Simeone can talk all he bleeding wants about a masterclass. My arse, he was hanging on his bloody fingernails.
Bobby, I think he hit the post and everything, didn't he, that night?
Yeah.
Amount of chances, even you had Mane, Salah, all of them were missed. Yeah. And it was if there was one game to probably analyse Liverpool's season that year, it was that game. Missed opportunities. And considering obviously the injuries we did have throughout that squad anyway that year. But I tell you, if we're clinical, like we have been towards this season, then I think it could be a cricket score if we do put the ball in the back of the net. I think we hit them early. But I don't know
about a cricket score. They very rarely lose them. They rarely lose by. I can't remember the last time they lost by 3 goals. Can you? Atletico Madrid. It's very rare. Now the great Barcelona side maybe beat them. That was about 2 or 3 seasons ago. But they've been good, Jack. They've been in or around, You know, they were in the Champions League final. They've never won it. They've been in one or two finals, of course. But I'm not saying I'm worried about it because we're in a nice position. And I still think it's between us and Atletico. Obviously, we win tomorrow night, we're going to win the group. Even a draw, I think we win the group. That's it, you know. But even if Atletico beat us, they'll go ahead of us by a point. But we're still in a great chance because we have to bring them back in Anfield as well. So, you know, we're still in it. Even if we do lose, it's not the end of the world. So, you know what I mean? I'm not saying it's a free hit, but it's a good place to be in, basically, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, you've still got to get past Jan Oblak. I can remember we were just discussing that game. He is one of the world's best goalkeepers. He has been for loads of seasons now. But I can remember just literally having flashbacks now that he didn't have anything like massive to save, but he was just frustrating because he's a world-class goalkeeper, and obviously come midweek we'll have obviously two of the best goalkeepers in world football on display.
No, listen, that night he was man of the match, wasn't he? Wasn't your man Oblak the man of the match that night? Yes, he was. And remember, the away goals counted, and that was a knockout. Sorry, that wasn't a knockout. It was the away last 16, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The away goals counted. You don't count anymore. I know it's a group.
It'd be interesting to see if they do get out to the knockout, Dave, and everyone at home. Obviously, if Liverpool and Atletico Madrid do progress, how this new rule will imply in terms of first and second legs, whether teams will sit back from the first leg, how Atletico Madrid do approach games of football now, because obviously the away goals rule has been massive since it was introduced all those years ago. But I think you will see a lot. It's given the bigger teams a bit more of a chance, would you say, Dave?
I said that last season when it came out. That was the very first thing I said. It suits the elite teams more than it does. I mean, the smaller teams, you could get that 1-1 draw, let's say, in Anfield, a smaller team coming to Anfield. They get that lucky 1-1. And then they grind out a 0-0. They go through the away goals. You know, they don't beat you, but they get two draws. Whereas the big teams, absolutely, it would always favor. I mean, it happens in the League Cup. You know what I mean? In the League Cup as well. I mean, I just, it's going to be weird. It's going to be weird because the first season that it would have ever been done. But there's a load of people in here now. We've got Ravi Bekhari, we Fiegel 2909. We've got Nash. We got Eamon Kelly, Mark Forrest. How are you, Mark? Hopefully you're well. John Moore, Liz Golden. Great to see you guys. As I always say, hit the share button, hit the like button. Because the more people we get in, more people, that's the algorithm. That's the YouTube algorithm. So, Bobby, the score late winner, says Nash. I would like that. I'll tell you what, he's on form at the moment, so you couldn't say no there, could you? Atletico Madrid and us will qualify out of this group, no problem. I think so, yeah, absolutely. But I just think tomorrow night is big for a lot of reasons. You know, you want to keep the confidence going. You want to keep the wins. You want to keep the unbeaten run going. You want to go into the United game full of bloody confidence. So I'm going to give you my starting 11, Jack, I think, for tomorrow night's game against Atletico. Obviously, Alisson's back, so I say he starts. Alisson will be in goal. I think Trent was brilliant the weekend. I think he just needs games, so he will stay there. Van Dijk and Matip, I can't see anybody else coming in. I really can't. Now, you could say, okay, maybe Matip being injury prone, give him a rest, play Gomez or Kanate. It is a possibility, but if I was Klopp, it's a big game. It's a big game. I'd keep Matip and Van Dijk there, and I'd possibly give Tsimikas a game and give Robbo a rest and rest him for United. But the midfield with Fabinho back, he walks straight in. Henderson's there, and Naby Lad just needs a run of games. He had a good game the weekend. And I'd leave the three amigos up front because they're on fire and have Jota on the bench. That'd be my 11.
Yeah, I'd concur with that, Dave. Wouldn't really change anything. For me, personally, possibly go with Robinson. I know top of the show said he needs a rest, but I think especially how strong Atletico Madrid going down that right-hand side. But it's whether how they approach the game. But yeah, I'd be up for starting Tsimikas, but I think you might go with Robinson just for that bit more reassurance, experience.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. As you said,
possibly.
if you're winning 2 or 3-0, well, if you are, great. You could probably bring Tsimikas on last 15, 20. But I mean, that's the ideal thing for Klopp and obviously in his staff. If it won't be easy away at Atletico Madrid. I mean, it's one of the tougher. Let's put it this way: it's one of the tougher grounds the Champions League to go to. Basically, away. It is.
We can make a statement, can't we, Dave? And everyone, I tell you, if we can make a statement, not say batter them, but get a positive result. it signals to the rest of Europe. Everyone goes, oh, Liverpool got 9 points out of 9. Obviously, bossing it in the league at the minute as well. So, just another reassurance to the rest of Europe. I know we know we're playing well at the minute. Just got to focus on ourselves, but I think a couple of heads will be turned if we do get a positive result there.
Yeah, no. I tell you, if we beat Atletico Madrid there tomorrow night, you will. Yeah, you will. Especially if Mosalah scores another worldie. Yeah, because you can do it in the league. But if you score a world-class goal in the Champions League, then you have the heart attacks. Then people go, what? You know what I mean? It's different level. Yeah. It's different level. But
I just hope it's like that first season in Europe, Dave, and everyone. Remember when when Salah come into the league and obviously the amount of goals all three of them scored in the first season in Champions League, it was remarkable. And you think you had James Milner as one of the record assist holders in terms of getting assists in a European competition. I think he beat like the likes of Xavi and Iniesta for an individual season in terms of assists. He ended up with like 10 or 11 or 12 assists come the end of the competition, which was mad.
I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, we're gonna have a little chat at the end of the show about the Mosalah contract situation for the last 10 minutes of the show, as well, guys. We're trying to mix it up nicely here, but we're as I say, we're in a great place, in a really great space. I still see the bits of crap on Twitter. I just don't, FSG out and all this. And I mean, United are getting ready for another big protest on Sunday. Oh, my God.
I honestly hope we get 3 points, Dave, anyway. The scheduling for Liverpool, I swear, the people running the club and even Klopp, if it was the case, everyone's
If that's called off this weekend, we should get the 3 points in and forget about it.
Yeah, he's done it last season, obviously, do it in the right, but was it the spend over £500 million on players and then they can be happy? The United fans, but yeah, they're in the right to, but as long as it doesn't affect the bar players, because it's all about you've got to isolate and everything, haven't you? It just messes up with obviously the movement of both teams, really. But if it is the case, but it's the FA, mate, they won't do nothing to Man United as always, as we've seen in recent years.
I don't know what to make of United. We're going to be doing 2 or 3 shows after the Atletico game. Don't worry, guys. There'll be plenty of shows on United because it's not till the Sunday kickoff. So you'll have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday to get lashed into United. And hopefully Tuesday night, 10 o'clock, whatever time the match is over, we'll be in a great place saying, bring on United. So don't want to see any injuries going into the United game. It's the bigger game for me, says Amy Kelly. Okay, Jack, I'm going to put you on the spot here. United or Atletico Madrid tomorrow night? Which is the game? I'm giving you only one win. I'm only giving you one win out of those 2 games. Which one do you want to win? Go.
Atletico Madrid, because only saying that, as much as I want to win us, see us win against United, I would have said United if they were going to be competitive with us in the league this season, mate.
Right.
I think 3 points will be more important in the Champions League for our qualification, if it guarantees us qualification to the next round. But United, for me, mate, they're not going to do anything this year. I know it was the Ronaldo effect and the Disneyland analogy that was going around social media at the minute in terms of Man United. You will not do nothing in the Premier League. If you do, it'll probably be top 4 at minimum, and especially with Ollie with that team, we know how bad of a manager he is. A better manager gets a better tune out of that United squad, and we're more concerned about Man United.
I tell you, if we hammer them, if we beat them 2 or 3-0 or 4 or whatever, 4-1 or 4-2 like last year at Old Trafford, he'd probably be gone Sunday night. But I'll tell you, Jack, for me, I absolutely hate Man United. I'd like to beat them in tiddlywinks. I'd like to beat them in a Monopoly game. I'd like to beat them, I'd like to beat them in a 10-yard sprint. I want to beat United all day long. I think the Atletico game, I want to beat Atletico too. Of course I do. I want to win every game. But if you're giving me a choice between Atletico and Man United, it's Man United all day long, baby.
But Dave, I don't know win both of them anyway. It sounds.
I'm just giving you hypothetical choice. But we can only take it game by game. As I say, Jack, there's plenty of shows coming up for the United game. That's a different kettle of fish. But as I say, tomorrow night is get the 3 points. Even listen, just don't lose. I suppose it's the most important thing. I mean, even a draw there wouldn't be the end of the world. It'd be actually a good result. But you got to go into the game thinking you're going to win. I'm sure Klopp has the players. They're all ready to rock. We're so confident now. Why wouldn't you be thinking they're going to go in and win? Go anywhere and win now, Liverpool.
Yeah, we'll go even into our back gardens, Dave, and we'll still win.
But you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. It's the positive in that. It's that not arrogance, but it's the confidence that us fans around the globe and even the players. I think that's when we won. When we won the league, we were going into games knowing that our lads would give their all, but it was psychologically, it was in their head, it was instilled. Even if you were going behind, like the Aston Villa game, remember that game? We scored 2 goals in the matter of 4 or 5 minutes, and we still won the game. And obviously the Leicester game at Anfield.
Yeah,
it's if you can instill that winning mentality early on this year, I think that's half your battle won, really.
Yeah. I'm just wondering tomorrow night, Jack, will we be wearing that bloody yellow kit tomorrow night? I think we will.
Oh, the Mackies one.
Yeah, I think we will because they wear the blue shorts with the red and white stripes. So, you know what I mean? I think it's that bloody yellow submarine.
Sponsored by Mackies.
Well, the only problem with that is that was the one where we played Brentford and drew 3-3. So that's my worry with that yellow bloody kit. But anyway.
You'd think it'd be better, Dave, and everyone, wouldn't it? Like you'd be able to see your teammate, like on the pitch. You should be passing quite accurately. That's why obviously Shankly changed the goal, the neck colours and everything back in the day. Obviously, because obviously players wouldn't have to get the head up really to shoot. So
some of them could be colorblind. Where's the yellow guy? What's yellow mean? Anyway, Trilla from Manila. Good luck tomorrow, Dave. It's going to be a fun watch in Mari. Of course it is, my friend. We've fond memories. Of that stadium. John Moore, for me, to getting our league title back, more important. I also think that's what the players want, so they get a chance to celebrate in front of their own fans. Now, I'll tell you what, if we win the league next year in May, Jack, and get that bloody celebration that we didn't get in 2020.
Drawing level with Man United. And I tell you,
number 20.
And I've got a feeling, and I know a lot of people have already said in the comments, if we can get Salah done, sorted, and Jürgen gets his new deal sorted and announced, and Klopp can't leave without knocking Man United off their perch, can he? He's won one.
They're already off the perch. They're already off the perch.
But we need to get past them in league titles.
The league, sorry, league.
Yeah. Obviously, we can draw level with them this year, and obviously, because that would be a legacy with Jürgen Klopp. We are actually the if you know, it depends what way you count trophies or major honors. You know, you can count charity shields, you can count Super Cups and stuff like that. But I think we have the most. We have the most trophies. I think we're 1 or 2 ahead of United at the moment. Isn't that right? It's all those 20s, the nonsense songs that you do here. Yeah. But that would be one legacy, and I think Jürgen Klopp, he's got that burning desire, and even it's deep rooted. Always want him to knock United off his perch, and that'd be our saying really, because then they'd have to sack their manager if we overtook them.
I hope they don't sack the bloody man. That's the double jeopardy. That's the double jeopardy for Liverpool. You hammer United at Old Trafford, and then you hear the news. You're overjoyed. And you're going, you're doing videos and you're loving it. And then all of a sudden it comes through in your text, Ole is being sacked, and you go, oh, for fuck's sake. You know what I mean? So, but listen, I just want to beat them. I don't care if Ole stays or sacked or whatever. We can only do our job. Liverpool, won't be thinking about that. They'll just be going out to get the 3 points. But as I say, that's not till Sunday. Tomorrow's Atletico. Give me your scoreline for tomorrow, Jack. What do you think? Who's goal scorers and scoreline for tomorrow's game?
I said 4-0 against Watford, and everyone laughed at me. So I wasn't. I
think I laughed at you.
I was like, surely one of these results is going to come off. I was only 1 goal off.
I think it'd be tight.
I'm confident. I'm going to go 3-1 Liverpool. Suarez getting a goal, Salah and our forward three, Salah, Mane and Bobby. I think if they might score first, but I think we've got enough quality within that squad. Just the way you look at how great the Premier League is compared to the rest around Europe. Obviously, the Bundesliga, need to sign it. Yeah, definitely do it. Go 3-1.
Lifetime contract, says Trilla. Absolutely. Just sign. As Ferdinand says, sign on the line. Remember that with Michael Owen in the BT after the PSG game? Sign him. Give him a lifetime contract. You're right. Absolutely. I think, as Eamon Kelly's saying 1-1 there, I was thinking of 1-1 yesterday. I really was. I was thinking a draw wouldn't be the end of the result. Their eyes might be on United, but this team are different kettle of fish. This team are different gravy. I think we can go there and win, Jack. I really do. I think we can go there and win 2-1. Mosalah and Mane in the mirror, 2-1.
I think with them playing at home as well, everyone, surely they've got to come out. They can't. I know that's Simeone's philosophy, really, obviously soaking up attacks and hitting teams on the break. But obviously they can play attacking football. They've got enough quality players in that. But I think for me, if you can get them to come out and allow Liverpool a bit more space than probably we didn't have at Anfield last year. But yeah, positive, mate. I'm going to go 3-1. I think Mark's going with 3-1 there, Annie.
Yeah, Eamon Kelly 1-1, John Moore 3-1, Salah, and to get 2, Mane to get the other, and it'll be a close game 2-1. Trilla saying as well. I'm saying 2-1. Salah just to continue what he's been doing, and Mane really looked sharp. That was a great finish as well, Jack. The weekend. Yeah. I mean, the ball from Salah was out of this world, but the finish was first.
It was still a hard finish, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, beautiful. And I mean, poor Bobby gets overlooked with a hat-trick. I know they were sort of tap-ins, but he was in the right place. It's all about confidence building. I don't care. You can get 100 tap-ins a season. Not only be talking about tap-ins, they'd be talking about just the goals,
Yeah, she'd have made a career. Wait, what?
But I mean, he's five league goals already, and he hasn't even kicked the bloody ball.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. That's what we need. We need him chipping in. We need him chipping in. We need Mane chipping in. Salah will just fish and chip in. This guy's this is salt and vinegar on your fish and chips. And then if Jota there, Jota's got to pick it up as well.
That's how he starts banging in the goals, Dave.
There you go.
It's who you're going to drop, are you? It's great. It's a dilemma
it's a nice dilemma to have, Jack. Yeah. It's a nice dilemma to have. You know what I mean? Now, okay, we're going to finish the show, the last 10 minutes, 8 minutes or whatever, talking about the king of Egypt, Mosalah, beside the Jackie boy there. Contract talks, I think they're hotting up at this stage. I know he was in London at the Earthshot award ceremony yesterday, and he looked dapper now. He looked like 007, to be fair, didn't he? He looked like he wanted James Bond. I was getting a bit worried. But my name is Salah, Mosalah. So, for me, I think it's almost done. I think it's done. It hasn't just been. Remember the Henderson one where it was agreed in principle, but it took about 3 weeks for him to come out. I think it's more or less been agreed in principle, and it's just a matter of timing, either this week or next week. I think it'll be pretty soon. I really do. I think he'll get. What age is he now? He's 29. He's 2 years left, which will bring him to 31. I think he wants 4. I think he wants the 6 to bring him to 30. Sorry, the 3 to bring him to 34, which will be 5 years. Yeah, I think he wants the 5. Yeah. I think
matter of dotting the I's and crossing the T's, really, mate. I think on the contract.
I think so. Yeah, I've heard a few people. I know a few people involved talking about it. 1 or 2 are quite in with the club, and they're saying it's more or less done now. There was another thing. I think that was Rami Abbas with him yesterday, his agent. Was that his agent yesterday with him?
Yeah, that was his agent.
Rami, that was another reason you would think where they have a little secret talks in London yesterday, signing it.
And Liverpool do have offices in London as well. So
there you go. There's the secret little chat there, baby. First exclusive. Mosalah, this little office signing away, to be agreed. Imagine they do it. They love Fridays for announcements. Do you ever see that? Friday was the announcement, so you might see it this Friday. Mosalah,
a Klopp Salah double header announcement. Oh, that would break the internet, mate.
I think. Okay, listen. I think Salah's 99%. It will be a done deal, but I think, as you say, Klopp's till 2024. If Salah signs, say, to 25 or 26, which some of them have, I think he might follow suit and go to 26. You know that.
He's just the last person to sign, and obviously
when you've Bobby and Mane
and Bobby, and then I think that's more or less kind of everyone signed up. For me, even if me and you, Dave, we were getting contracts, everyone at home, really, especially if you love your job.
Have you not signed your Dave's LFC contract yet?
No, it's all a mystery.
I gave one to Keith and Ivan there last week, and they still haven't signed it.
Oh,
you're getting a fish and chip after every show.
Oh, what a cracking deal, mate. I'm definitely signing that, mate.
But
Yeah.
I see Eamon Kelly saying here 500,000 a week. Is that what he's looking for? I think that's all bullshit pie in the sky. I seen something today talking about 400,000 a week. I don't think anybody knows, Jack. I think Liverpool have kept this so in-house between Salah and his agent, probably his wife, Salah's wife knows, but two or three, like the likes of Michael Edwards, Klopp, and the owners, Gordon and all them know. I'd say 7 or 8 people know. That's it. Maybe Salah's brother might let it go, but you never know.
It's the modern day contract, and David Eamon and everyone in chat. It probably will. You could tie into that image rights, shirt sales, a percentage of certain stuff.
Yeah, bonuses, win bonuses, trophy bonuses.
Yeah, you can add, and it could total up to say 500k a week, but it could be adding to obviously Salah. He's a massive. You only have to look at how many people follow him on social media. Probably one of the highest ranking football players in world football in relation to his global outreach and the positive work in which he's been doing off the pitch, like all the players do, not just Salah, but obviously like Mane as well. How much do you do for Senegal?
Charity. There's a lot of charity. Yeah. There's a load of charity work behind the scenes that you don't even hear about. Let's be fair.
Yeah, but you only have to look at Mo. Mo's not bothered about money. He's bothered about the and he says, remember that interview done? He was about Chelsea when he did go to Chelsea. He wanted to come to Liverpool, and I think he's got that opportunity eventually now. He wanted him still at the club. I know it was previous managers. He was on the books anyway on the Liverpool scouting network. But yeah, he's happy, content. I think his family are happy as well. And long may that continue. I tell you, it will be the biggest signing in my lifetime, really. Obviously, we've spoken about Jurgen Klopp being the biggest signing, but in terms of a player, he's been remarkable season in, season out.
Jack is looking for the price of an Anfield hot dog. He surely deserves an improved contract. Well, he might actually get some onions on it and a bit of, ketchup maybe or fucking something.
Sorry, mate. You know my thoughts on the Anfield hot dogs.
I don't know your thoughts on the Anfield. Tell me, I haven't got a fucking clue.
They're an absolute rip-off. Just to
say don't like them? How much are they? How much is an Anfield hot dog?
I think it's like 3-4 quid in it, Eamon, and everything.
That's for nothing.
No, but like...
Come over to Ireland, Jack. I told you it's about $6.50 a pint of beer, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, it's made of plastic though. It's like you can whack it off like.
It's like a Man City. It's like a Man City hot dog.
It's nice, don't get wrong. It does the job. Really.
Lalu Pato in the house. How are you, Lalu? Hopefully you are well, my friend. We're just talking to the king of Egypt, Mosalah. But yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Steve Richards hiding in the background. Steve announces his presence. Great show this evening. You two legends, says Steve. You guys are legends for tuning in. Right. You guys are legends for hitting the like button, baby. That's what's so important. But contract-wise, Jack, I mean, imagine that double. Imagine that double before Christmas, guys. As you said, Klopp, Salah double signing. Wow.
If you put one and one together, you get two, Dave. I don't know if you want to look too into it, but surely the man that is controlling, the man that's the father to all these players, he has to, doesn't he? Especially if Ali signed. Like, I think when Ali signed, it was like a 5-6 year deal. I know goalkeepers have a longer longevity in terms of their playing career, so that's why he signed a bigger contract. But it makes sense. And
so let's just talk about the other two then that haven't signed yet. Mm. The two boy that one of them is behind your shoulder there, Bobby Nolan, who has a bit of lease of life in the last few games, and Mane in the mirror looks like he's coming back as well. So what would you do with those two boys?
It's interesting, mate, isn't it? With Bobby, I know everyone's got the wide ranging opinions. I think you only have to look at social media the last 12 months. Bobby divides opinion, and everyone was not everyone, but people were looking at Bobby and going, "Oh, he's past it." But this weekend just gone, it just shows still his importance. Yes, there might have been a slight dip in terms of his quality, but I think even a 20% less, Bobby Firmino is still world class. It's difficult to replace him. There's not many players around Europe that are built in the Bobby mold that play in that system wise. And Sadio Mane, you can't be allowing those two players to leave the football club. I'm not too sure. Everyone let us know in the comments how long. I think they must be on similar contracts.
Both of them are 2023. Both of them.
Oh, sounds. Yeah, so we need to. If you're looking at it as a business point of view, you can't be letting your assets run down.
No.
And obviously, you've got to sign them up. Even if it's like a 2-3 year deal, obviously take them into retirement, especially if Mo does sign that contract into his retirement at Liverpool. It only makes sense that those three all retire at very much a similar time, or as much FSG, the way you look at it, possibly a resale value. But for me, I want all three of them to retire at Liverpool Football Club. Because I think there was a stat going round on social media, Dave, and everyone, I don't know if you've seen it, just how all three of them, Mane, Salah and Firmino, they beat all the top legendary strikers and forwards at the football club. And you're like, you are witnessing week in, week out, three of Liverpool's greatest ever players to attacking players in our history. We'll be telling our grandkids and everyone, like, what were these three like? And we'll be like,
well, I mean, how long are you doing this, the vlogging? About 4 years? What are 5 years?
Yeah, I think 4 years, mate. Yeah.
I'm 3 years doing it, right? So I came right in, basically, when after we lost. When Mo at that 17-18 season, I came in at the end of the 18th season after we got beaten 3-1 against Madrid. But obviously, I'm following Liverpool since the 80s. But what a whirlwind to come in those 3 years doing, vlogging and YouTube. Because we, as you just said, last 3-4 years have been the best we've seen since the 80s with Liverpool. You know what I'm saying? So it's been a bloody whirlwind. And with Klopp there, who is Shankly's DNA for me, he is Shankly's DNA. Since Shankly went, okay, you can say Fagan there was brilliant after him, but a man's man, a man understands the city, understands the players, understands the DNA of the club. He has Shankly DNA Klopp for me.
You look at the managers that did come in, Reds, as well, didn't he? You look at Roy, he's an experienced manager, never got Liverpool. Never.
Who?
Roy,
lads.
He never got the identity of Liverpool. Yeah, he thought he was frustrated, and he was like, why do the fans not take to me? Obviously, the negative football and the performances, most importantly. Obviously, you had Rodgers coming in, Rafa, obviously won the Champions League, had a little bit of success.
FA Cup 2006.
And then certain managers have come in, but since Jürgen's come in, mate, you mentioned, he's got a lot of characteristics similar to Shankly, really. He was like, he was built, and even his wife, Jürgen, said, Liverpool's made for you, man, even though he spoke about turning down United, but his wife said, no, wait. And I think I remember being there for the game against, was it when we played Dortmund in the pre-season friendly? And obviously he was just taking in the atmosphere, and I think obviously he was admired around Europe with what he'd done with Dortmund those years, especially getting back-to-back Champions League finals with them. But yeah, there's certain managers.
See, Jack, the other thing is, I mean, the DNA of Dortmund, the fan, they even sing "You Never Walk Alone." They're similar to Liverpool. The city of Dortmund as well. It's similar. It's there was obviously Liverpool are a better team than Dortmund, but that was a good Dortmund side. Got the 2 Champions League finals, won the league twice with the likes of Bayern Munich there. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, he really did, a top job at Dortmund, and the next level was Liverpool. But, I mean, we all know, he came in 6 years ago, just there a few weeks ago, 6 years in the job. He has turned his team from, they were a decent side, but But after, when Rodgers, that year we should have won it, I thought. The famous slip, you can call it what you want. I think we should have won it that year. It's just been getting better and better. It took about a year or two to get going with Klopp. We won 1 or 2 finals, couldn't win them. But once we broke that bloody ceiling in 2019, that Champions League win, of course, and then the 97, 98 points trick. The following year, you come up with 99 points and win the league. I mean, that's just ridiculous.
It's the mentality, isn't it, Dave, and everyone in chat, to go again after missing out in the league by what? Wow. John Stones clearing the ball off the line by like that millimeters.
Yeah.
We know now that these players, it was all before Liverpool. It was like, 30 years wait for the league. Have you got the mentality? Yes, we have now. We've got that mentality and integrated into these players. that was a big thing, wasn't it, Dave? If you're bringing in players, have they got that mentality of wanting to win?
Yeah.
Do they know how to win? But now, especially if you are signing all these players down to big contracts, you don't know what Pep's going to do, especially if Jurgen does sign a new contract. I know Pep in recent years has spoke about his desire to leave Man City, especially if he doesn't achieve his Champions League success. He's so fixated really in terms of wanting to win, that narrow-minded. Hopefully, if he does take one eye off the Premier League, and obviously City and Chelsea will be positive in terms of league this year, but I think all guns blazing for Liverpool. We want to be greedy, we want to win the league and the Champions League, but I tell you,
Either or would do me.
Yeah.
But as you say, a league win that you can celebrate with your fans in Liverpool, in the city, that would be, for me, that would be dreamland. A double would be absolute dreamland. But Stephen Richards, Naby has turned into a player we expected. Now, he's not quite there yet, Steve, but he seems to be getting better. He seems to be. It's true playing games. He just hasn't been bloody. I always say it. He goes home and plays PlayStation. He pulls in muscle or something. You know what I mean?
Gets injured going up the stairs.
Yeah. So
Yeah, no, Naby's still. Yeah, it's fingers crossed, and everyone cross your fingers right now. If Naby does stay fit, obviously with Curtis Jones coming back into the squad. Obviously, Ginny leaving the football club, it's opened up an opportunity. Yeah. Yes, we've spoke about Ox, but I think Naby now, from that goal and that celebration at Anfield a couple of weeks ago, there's a player in there. He just hasn't shown his sort of full potential. I know for a fact, Dave, if we were to sell him and everyone in chat, if he did leave Liverpool next year or something, you know what's going to happen. He'll stay fit for the next 3 to 4 years and beat an Naby Keita that Liverpool wanted.
We can't control that. I mean, he cost a lot of money, Jack. He cost a lot of money. I know Klopp likes him. He believes in him. I mean, if Naby can stay fit for 70% of the bloody season and play 70% of the games you want them and put in performances of energy and give us that option, I'd be happy.
Yeah, most definitely.
You know what I mean?
And especially if he does play against Atletico Madrid, he's that type of player, isn't he, lads?
Just getting all the propositions here tonight. Dave, you can keep it mine next time you're over me. Oh, there you go, Steve. There's a proposition for you now. I thought I had Jack's bed, but anyway. Man United can beep off. You're absolutely right there, Steve. You're absolutely right there. Your opinion, guys, is Mane better than John Barnes? Whoa. Do you know what? It's so hard. John Barnes was one of my heroes now in the 80s, growing up following Liverpool. I'll always remember that grey waist strip away to United or away to Arsenal.
That yellow crown paint.
Oh, no, the grey kit. Remember that grey kit? The flex through it. Oh, my God. No, it's hard to say. It was different era, different football, different pitches even.
How much would a John Barnes be worth in this market now?
Yeah, see, that's,
That's a bit
I don't know. That is a tough one to ask. That is a good question.
I'd say no. Because I've listened to my dad when I was younger. He spoke about, and I've grew up, because John Barnes was at that elite level at that time. He was the best player in his position. Obviously, he had great players around him. But it was harder for him being, I think he's Jamaican, isn't he? Jamaican English. It was harder for him, at that time in the 80s, playing for Watford and getting stuff thrown on the pit. We all know the stories and racism. Now, it hasn't gone away, of course, because we look where we are now, but Jack, it was even worse at grounds in the 80s, I'm telling you. I mean, there was hooliganism, there was fights before and after games, there was fights in the ground, there was fellas on pitches. So I thought for him to come out on top as an iconic player, for England as well, Yeah.
But it's hard. That's a tough one.
How many league titles?
Maybe at the end of Mane's, and at the end of Mane, when you find out in another 4 or 5 years when Mane, is finished, it's hard to judge someone against someone when one is finished and the other one hasn't even finished yet. But very similar, actually.
How many league titles did he win? Did he win? I think it was 2. Oh.
Well,
I need to
when did he come in? Did he come in? Was it 87? He came in for
87,
Watford?
Yeah. Let's have a look. John Barnes. I don't think he
JB,
won that many
what a
league titles, did he? We come in like at the period, really.
Well, he won at least
go
2. Well, remember,
on.
we lost at 89 to Michael Thomas goal. That was going to be a double year. That was the double year. We won it in 1990.
I
we
can't
won it in
believe
88,
that.
didn't we?
Even the documentary he's watching after, I think my dad was in the ground for that. I was like,
oh, Jack's on YouTube. You wouldn't have want to come up there, would it?
Yeah. Jump balance.
Steve Richards the same.
I thought it was. Yeah.
Barnes is better.
Yeah, I thought it was 2 league. Yeah, I thought it was 2. Yeah.
What was it? Was it 88 and 90?
It was the. Get that tab up open if you want, mate. We've got it up here. Premier League.
Don't be showing girls in bikinis. What's going on?
Nice. There we go.
What a player.
So you got the 19. Obviously, you got Player of the Year twice, 1990, and obviously. So obviously 1990 and 88. Yeah,
88-90 was the 2 leagues, yeah.
Yeah.
But, we all remember the 1990 one, of course, because that was the last time they'd won it up until 2020. So 30 years, you know.
Yeah, I thought he won 2 anyway, but yeah.
2 FA Cups.
Yeah, left midfield. What a player.
2 FA Cups, 2 champ. I mean, it could have been more, as you know, in 89. Oh my God, how we lost that, we'll never know. But Jamaica, he went on his own accord. But his dad was Jamaican and stuff like that, and he played for England, of course.
But imagine him in Mane on opposite wings. Imagine in the prime. Yeah, that would.
Well, I mean, who do you think gets into Liverpool? Who do you think now? Say King Kenny, obviously Kenny Dalglish, you would think would get in anytime. So if you had to play a Gerrard, imagine Gerrard in this team, in this 11 now. Yeah. You know what I mean? Imagine Steven Gerrard.
There's so many great players.
Prime Steven Gerrard. Prime.
I think Trent. You had some great right backs in the past. Obviously,
imagine this front three, right?
Yeah.
In prime level, Salah, Fowler, and who can I throw in? I mean, you could throw in Suarez, you could throw in Torres, even Michael Owen on his was unplayable. You know.
Even like a prime Rush as well. Stick him in the box.
Rush job. Yeah, he's more a real old school striker now. You know.
Yeah, just get the ball in the box. He'll bang every single shot. Even Hansen, if you put him in that team.
What a centre half he was.
Imagine him in Van Dijk. Christ. Imagine him in Van Dijk.
Hansen Van Dijk.
Yeah.
Here, Souness.
Jan Moby as well.
Breaking legs. Molo.
Jan Moby. He was. I've watched that. Like, obviously, it wasn't around that times, but I watched the documentaries. My dad used to talk about how difficult and how wide he was, but that helped him as a player, didn't he? He just shield classic players, controlling the space in and around them, and he could pick up a pass and literally without looking behind him.
Dalglish, I mean, he's the king. He is the king of the cup. But just before we go as well, we give it to Eurojack 7 minutes. But I did a promo video. I did a little video with Gav Jones from Ken7, which Ken7 is Kenny Dalglish's merchandise channel. He has a YouTube channel. They're on TikTok. They're on Instagram. And there's some lovely stuff. Ken7.com, KENN7, as in Kenny Dalglish number 7.com. He sent me over a polo top of the range. You probably seen the thing, did you?
Yeah,
the black with the number 7. It is top stuff. Check out the stuff. I mean, he just have Kelly Cates on, who's Kenny Dalglish's daughter. He just have Kenny Dalglish on. He just have Kenny's son Paul on. He just have Roy Evans' son, Ronnie Moran's son. He just have all Dave Lynch. John Ockenberg was on. I mean, you know, top.
Never know, Dave. You never know.
Yeah. That's happening. That's happening November. Yeah. That's a done deal. But yeah, listen, it's all good. Virgil is the Dutch Hansen. Well, there you go.
Even Stevie Highway back in the day. I think my mum fancied him.
Steve Highway played for Ireland, by the way.
Yeah, he was the only reason.
He's a winger.
What was the other fellow as well? Craig Johnson, was it?
Yeah. He was the mop of curly hair. And
that's the only reason.
Australian, wasn't he?
Yeah, the only reason my mum ever went to match with my dad because of him.
There's a story about Craig Johnson. He was involved with the Predator Adidas football boot.
Was he?
Do you know that? No. He was one of the inventors, or one of the. Remember the Predator? I don't know.
I know the Predator.
Early night, the one with all the had all the sort of markings on the outside. The Predator boot. He was involved with that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Great
great,
transfer. Made a
great pair
few
of
quid
football
with that.
boots. Yeah. No, it's mad, isn't it? Obviously, there's Liverpool, especially when you look at the team now, Liverpool, the way in which we play our fullbacks are so integral to the way in which we do play. Obviously, Kenny, it was remarkable, like the Rushy and Dalglish combination back in the day. I wish if you could go back in time, it'd be interesting to see how you drop a player into like a certain team and how they would play. Obviously, the football's developed so
It's
much
different.
in
It's
the last
different
one.
football, Jack.
Yeah.
It's actually much faster, and the
Yeah.
players are fitter. I mean, some of those players in the 80s used to go for a drink after the game.
Yeah,
before the game, not after the game. So you know what I mean? I mean, it's medical science. It's literally you take your fingerprints and DNA before you play a game now. It's totally different level. They're athletes. They're basically like Olympic athletes now. Whereas in the 80s, early 90s, they weren't, they were good, they were fit, but they weren't like they are now. It's different level.
The famous boot room as well, mate, wasn't it? Remember? Obviously Shankly and Bob.
The boot room, yeah. The boot room, yeah.
How many great, imagine to be a fly in the wall in those meetings. Just listening to Shankly on like tapes and that. Obviously, on YouTube and all that.
He's unbelievable.
Just similar to like Klopp, and when you just listen to someone, you're like, yeah, like he just gets it. He could do like uni. I'm pretty sure he's done loads of university lectures as well. King Kenny would be the Bobby type player now. Oh, most definitely, mate. That's one attribute that Kenny had, as much as his brilliance, but his vision in terms of on the ball, how mobile he was. People couldn't even get the ball off him.
I mean, look, Liverpool's history, 1892. We've had some bloody players. We've had some teams. But I'll tell you what, Jack, this team right now, you are witnessing right now, on 18th of October, 2021 is one of the best teams Liverpool.
It will go down in history in the next couple of years, mate. Fingers crossed we do get a couple more Champions Leagues, a couple of more Premier Leagues, and solidify it. And then
I think if we win another league or even a Champions League, if we win a league or a Champions League, preferably a league, as you said, we go level. I still think even now, I mean, you got to enjoy it. It's no use giving out on Twitter and Instagram just before we go. Look, it's cyclical. This won't go on forever. You look at the likes of Newcastle coming in with all their zillions, and other clubs are going to do it, with so much more money, even than Liverpool. It's going to be harder to get those diamonds, make diamonds from coal. You know what I'm saying? Like what Liverpool have been doing for the last 4 or 5 seasons. There's even a chance Edwards could go next season. So you've got to enjoy it while it's there, guys. Yeah. People don't understand. Enjoy it right now. Live in the moment, basically, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. It's the thing, it's even that's why I don't look at Twitter. I post my videos on everyone watching as well, Dave. Look out for your videos and everyone's videos on YouTube and that. But it's a crazy world, but spot on there, Dave, and everyone. As we all do, very precious times. And for me, mate, I think there'll always be teams out there, City and Chelsea, even Chelsea when Roman come in with his millions. Even Fergie, as much as we dislike Man United. As long as you have a very good manager at the helm of your football club, they're very far and in between. There's not many of them, but we've got one at the minute in world football. You only have to listen to Fergie, what he speaks of, highly praise of Jurgen Klopp. But it will take 5-10 years with Newcastle. As long as if they can get the right people in at the football club.
It mightn't take that long. It might take 5 years, 3 to 5 years. I don't think it'll take 10 years. I don't think Saudi will be coming in, thinking this is a 10-year. No, it could be a 10-year project, but they've got the stadium already. The stadium's there. It's a proper stadium. I was in that stadium. It's a proper stadium. They've got the fan base. I mean, they have a bigger fan base than City. I know it wouldn't be hard. That wouldn't be hard, but you know what I mean. So, no, I think you're talking maybe 4 or 5, maybe 6 transfer windows. And they'd be there or thereabouts. But still, you still have Liverpool, you'll still have Chelsea, you'll still have City, you'll probably still have United. So you'll still have the big 6, the big 5, the big teams there. Newcastle will be chipping at them and coming in. But it's going to be interesting. It is really interesting times ahead, Jack. But
that's what makes that's what makes our league win so special in the Reds. Obviously, we've won the league in such a dominant Man City period. Obviously,
That's
with
what
Jurgen, when he won it with Dortmund's 2 league titles in that era of obviously sheer dominance. I don't think anyone else other than Borussia Dortmund's Klopp have won the league since obviously he's left the Bundesliga.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what makes Klopp and this team so special. Look what we're up against, Jack. Look what we're up against. We're not the richest club. We're not the big, okay, we are one of the biggest. Us and United, you would say the history-wise and stuff, worldwide would be the 2 big clubs. But look at us. We're up there. We're biting at City's ankles. We're at Chelsea's ankles. The 2 oligarch boys with all the money, with all the state money, oil money, whatever money you want to call, crazy transfers, having players worth 100 million on the bench. And we're there, bang, getting record points, goals, scoring. That's what makes this team special. And hopefully it can continue for another few years. Salah, get that contract signed, and even Klopp get it signed. Jack, I think we'll leave it there. It's been an absolute pleasure. It went on a little longer than I thought. We start going back in time. But the main thing is tomorrow night, of course, let's get the win, get the result tomorrow night, and move on to the big one next weekend. I'll say there's going to be loads of content coming up, guys. I'm sure Jack will too, because the big one. We all love a Liverpool United game, don't we? We all love that. But it's all eyes on the one Metropolitano. I think I'm saying that right. Tomorrow night in Madrid. And I'm going to go 2-1 Reds. Mosalah to continue. And Mane in the mirror. Jackie boys going 3-1. Did you say your goal scorers?
All 3 of the main ones are Mane, Salah and Bobby.
3 amigos. Right, guys, over and out. Steve Richards, Eamon Kelly. Oh, guys, you're absolutely brilliant. John Moore. Who else do we have? Liz Golden, Triller from Manila. I love that name. It's top name. I'm forgetting. Liz Golden was in earlier, as I say. You guys are absolute legends. Hit the like, hit the sub. Check out JackMack LFC.
Yes, that's
Talk to you soon. Stay safe. This means more. See ya.